Alright, hi, my name is Leela Caparella. This is my second speech. Kind of nervous. I'm using this for both a school project and social media, so I don't know which one you guys are going to be seeing this on, but I will be mentioning outlines of the project, things I needed to include in the project, so it will deviate a little bit from complete speech. This won't be as just straight speech as my last speech. So for this project, we have to pick a topic that correlates from 1984 to any point in history. And of course, I'm picking present day. It's a pretty blatant thing, but I wasn't there on the day that we picked all of these topics, so I have to pick a very vague one because our topics cannot overline at all, and I still want to stay political, because no way in hell am I not. So my topic is public mindset halting progression, action, doing anything. By that, I'm winging this, so this might be, I have most of it written down, but this specific part for expanding on that topic, I'm a little bit winging. I mean, outlooks and mindsets that are like, oh, someone else will do it, said 7 billion people, crazy. Or like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, people are dying, babes. Just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not a big deal. Empathy is a crazy thing, truly. Or something like, oh, this is one I hate, and I will get into it later, but outlooks like, if you look back in history, it's all worked out at the end. I will get into that, though. So, I'm now going to connect it to 1984, and that's only a little bit, that's a small segment, and then I'm going to really connect it to now. And there will be segments of 1984 in that connection, and yeah. So, because the majority of Oceania, so the proles in the outer party, believed that the inner party's treatment towards them was inevitable, and that they had no choice but to let the treatment continue, it did. It continued without any sort of pushback. Even when various people started to recognize the mistreatment, it wasn't enough. I was like 3 people, maybe. The inner party was quite literally 2% of the total population. Reminds me of another sort of situation maybe going on right now. If anything, it's probably less for us. Anyways, if everyone put their differences aside, the proles versus the outer party, they 100% would have overthrown the inner party. But because of how rigorously the negative mindset was drilled into them, some believed it. Some just went along for survival, but in the end, they never ended up freeing themselves from the party and the corruption and the dystopian land. Though, it wouldn't be fair not to recognize the fact that they had a very big lack of resources or, like, access to knowledge, and they had no ability to group up. But, those were things that the party put in place to prevent it. Prevent revolts happening, prevent any sort of power in numbers. Though, I'm pretty sure that's starting to bleed into someone else's topic, so I'm gonna leave that there. While I will say there are definitely some big differences between 1984 and now, there are still some very obvious correlations that I kind of maybe was trying to really hardcore outline when I was talking about 1984. Today, public mindsets are still one of the most predominant issues preventing any sort of change. Like I tried to state on Thursday, nothing's gonna change unless people actually fight for it and want to fight for it. But, of course, to make a good argument and claim, I have to also address the counter-argument. Yes, like I've already said, conditions are much different now compared to in 1984. Which does majorly affect what actions people take, and how quick they do it, and how put together they are. But it's still the same issue of mindsets halting people. The majority of the population having the same mindset that stops them from doing things. And sadly, as time goes on, and those mindsets stay in people's heads, I'm more than sure, almost completely confident, our situation as a country will start to correlate more and more and more to 1984. So fun. The worst part about it is these mindsets literally only benefit those that enforce it. Like the inner party, or for us, the rich, the government, those people, the top 1%. And what's even worse is the fact that people are starting to believe it. I know people that believe that, oh, there's nothing we can do. Some of my friends are. Some of the people in my class are having those mindsets. And it's terrible. It's destructive. It's lazy. And I've been beating around the bush for long enough. Though I'm sure you've all guessed it, I'm directly talking about our government, ICE, and how people haven't been doing enough. Sorry. The issue in citing sources for this project is that this topic is one that's been building up over time. It's just more blatantly obvious right now. Though it's hard to point out like a start or an end in time, as I'm pretty sure it started the second civilizations have started, which sucks. And same thing goes for 1984. It's much more of an overarching theme than something that's directly stated, though I have found some things, and that will be provided elsewhere in the project. And if you're seeing this on social media, you could ask me if you want them. I doubt you will. There's always been a huge stigma against speaking up about our government, especially here in upstate New York, which is crazy in my opinion. One super duper tubular, great, awesome, amazing example is Thursday. That's when the seminar was, if you've watched my previous video. It's truly ironic how well some of my classmates almost automatically proved my point before I made it. That whole mindset that what's happening today isn't a big deal, or that I'm too woke, is exactly why people were making faces. It's also why shit never gets done. I'd rather sound like a broken record than not say a thing, so I'm gonna keep on saying it. We can't fix or change anything if people don't actually work for it and want to do it. Sure, if you are lazy or ignorant or just have no moral compass, you can totally keep this terrible outlook on life and watch as I do whatever I can to make up for your choices. Be my goddamn guest. Caught myself there. But for those who agree with me, that nod along yet don't take any actual action and still quiet down to not upset those stuck in mindsets like this is me begging for you to take this as a sign. Do your own research on topics like this. You have unlimited access to the internet. You shouldn't say you're not into politics because you aren't informed. You have free will. Inform yourself. Take 30 minutes out of your day. It does not take that long. Really, truly, do a little bit of research. Just a smidge. And maybe you'll see why I'm so mad. Maybe. Form educated opinions. Show up to protests and get others to tag along. Please. Please. And yes, there is another fair, sort of reasonable on surface level, perspective of, we're just kids. I'm just 16. Why am I getting all bent out of shape about this? Which, while it's true, doesn't get anything done when the adults around here have little to no care or empathy for what's happening all over the country. It's scary, worrying even, but this is our future that we have to fight for. Now, I've heard people say over and over how if you look back in history, things like this always work out eventually. Yet another ignorant mindset halting action. Sure, it works out in the end if you count millions of lives being lost as working out, or humans slowly dehumanizing each other bit by bit, yet constantly adding on time after time, cycle after cycle. A never-ending loop until, well, you end right up at 1984. With no rights, no relationships, no real family or community, all because we stayed silent now. And some of you might think I'm thinking a bit too far into the future. Yet another destructive mindset. And it's not that far in the future. It's not. It's gonna double over time, get bigger real quick if we don't do shit. And even if it is too much in the future, better safe than sorry, alright? That's one of the only mindsets that I truly practice daily. I'd much rather be overreactive than not at all. I'd rather snap at every little thing than let genocides fly right past me. Keep doing what they're praying for you to do, which is nothing. I'll make up for it. This class alone has already inspired me to work 10 times harder and louder. But I've also already seen more action being taken since Thursday. Thank you, Lily and Caitlin. So yes, there's hope. And I have hope in all of you, everyone that's seeing this video. But In the end, I'm just a woke kid, right? I just don't know what I'm talking about. It's all research that matters. I'm winging this again. Slam that book shut. Do your research. Literally, I keep hearing people say, oh, I'm not political because I'm not informed. Inform yourself. Inform yourself. I can't repeat it enough, and I won't stop repeating it. Broken record all day, every day. Loud and proud. Do your own research. There is no reason for you to not be researching. It's a privilege to say you don't want to do research. It's a privilege to be able to do research. Take advantage of that privilege and research what's going on right now. Ground News is a great website as it allows you to see how much of the media is covered by both parties. So you can evenly go and research about topics that are talked about by both parties, or see specifically the patterns that you can visibly see on who's covering what, and what seems to be much less unbiased and more factual and statistical, that's probably not a word, than just opinions. It's crazy how much it's in your face. Like, I can take that book, I can take the speech, I can take everything I've done, and wave it in front of some people's faces, and they still won't care. They'll still find an excuse. Like the comments on some of my posts recently, and I mean, I'm not letting hate comments get to me, I'm just pointing out the irony. Like, there's this guy that said this ginormous paragraph. I blocked him, so I'm not sure if you can still see it. But all of the things he was saying about, like, Renee Good and Alex Peretti, debunked. None of it was true. Like, literally not a single bit of it was true. And I told him that, and he's like, it doesn't matter. Right. Like, if you did your own research that wasn't biased and was just completely factual, which, I mean, yes, it's hard to find unbiased documents. Internet literacy, guys. It's a crazy skill that I think should be mandated in high school. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? It's so insane to sit back and watch my peers just not care. Not care, or claim they care, and then not do anything. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm looking black and white, like, oh, I only see 1 and 2, there's no 1.5 or anything, but there really isn't. It's either you're fighting against it, or you're supporting the other side. Silence is compliance. Ignorance is a choice, not a decision someone else makes for you, unless, yes, if your resources and access to internet is limited, I understand, but you probably aren't seeing this if that's limited. So yeah, get to researching, guys. It's not that hard. I literally did an entire month of researching for a project. My project was about research and researching current day problems. Crazy how informed I am because I put the time in. It's crazy how angry I am because I know what I'm talking about, and I feel actual empathy for the terrible things that are happening right now. If you did maybe 15% of the research that I've done, you would be just as mad as me. And I hope people that are seeing this and constantly liking my videos are taking this as a sign. Start your own videos. Do things like this. Get the word out in any way possible. You can protest freely, like, for free. It doesn't cost any money to post videos like this. It doesn't cost any money to repost videos, although that does take up some of your memory and storage, so maybe don't do that. But it's completely free to research things. It's completely free to bring awareness to things. And if you aren't doing that, it is because of your mindsets. And because of that, you are halting us as a whole from getting into a better situation. Take this as a sign to do things. Step up, speak up, stop saying silent, because silence is compliance. We can't fix anything unless everyone, or even just the majority, wants to fix it and will fix it. Actions speak louder than words. So please take this as a sign, guys. Alright? Thank you.